Ugh. Ugh. Hello again. Um, this week in particular was a bit weird. I said in the last one that this was the one where I'd have more to talk about, and I definitely do. I suppose. I don't know how much of it I'm actually going to end up talking about, but I hope I get through it all. Um, Goals. The I'd like to say I've been doing well, but that's not even fully true. Um, Again, this week was weird. Not because of any external circumstances, simply because of just me. Yeah, so things have been a little weirder, and I haven't exactly kept to my schedule very well. Um, and my goals have only sort of have actually sort of been changing as of recently. So I guess first, the easiest one to say is I started a sort of journaling because I know my memory just isn't very reliable. Even if I share a weekly basis, oftentimes I still won't remember the entirety of something of the week. So it's easier for me. One, these videos are a good way of keeping memory, but if I journal in this little thing, hopefully I'll actually be able to look back and talk about it in a more succinct and organized manner than just pulling from my head and trying to do conjecture from there. Because I'm only going to remember the most powerful stuff and the most memorable stuff, and not any of the smaller things that I might want to remember. So I'm gonna try using this to just jot down a bunch of small habits, track those, and pursue goals based off of those habits and see where I go from there. I'm currently tracking my sleep time in relation to a couple of activities. So whenever I do those activities, I mark them down in the book. And it's going to be starting today. I set this up last night. Um, and I'm hoping tonight I want to see what my sleep time is. And I want to just kind of log it throughout the entirety of this month. And based off of my findings from this month, or at least the rest of this month, I go into next month with certain goals in order to get better quality sleep. I've been incredibly tired and finding it a lot more difficult to actually go to sleep. So that's why I'm tracking it in this. There are also like smaller monthly goals that don't really like pertain to anything. They're just something that I would like to get done by the end of the month. So I'm trying to, by writing it down in there and being reminded of it, I'm trying to dedicate myself to it a little more. They're not super important. They're more just like finish games and shows, small stuff that isn't necessarily incredibly important, but something I want to do. So hopefully that allows me to, or not allows me, but that helps me hop on, go from just walking to a goal and maybe sitting down every once in a while to not just walking, but I don't know, getting on a bike or something and getting towards there, riding towards there a lot faster. There is, I guess, a flaw with it. I don't necessarily have to complete them by the end of the month. I would prefer to, so there is that part. But I guess by the end of the month, if I don't achieve them, I'll just like put an X or put a didn't complete, and then just drag it on to the next month with whatever goals I can think of for next month as well. Um, but aside from that, my my little schedule thing has fallen through. I must admit, because this week has definitely been a form of discovery for my own problems and realizing that while there are certain things I could work on, there are certain things I have to just confront and actually do something about. Because I can work on things that I'm already sort of good at, that I already sort of have down, but that's not going to help me as compared to, say, if I worked on the fact that I don't go outside or really interact with anyone but the people in my house very much. So I'm I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm not even gonna have to. I told my mom whenever she goes out to just bother me to go with her because I gotta get out of the fucking house. I gotta leave, man. I gotta just be in public. I can't stay in the house all the damn time. Which also does mean that more likely than not on weekends, I'm probably gonna have to schedule when I can play with my friends. Especially one of them. He has a very tight schedule, so hopefully we can play once in a while. But yeah, it's gonna be tougher. But I've been thinking that maybe going out and having something that constrains my time more is a good practice because it'll make me cherish my time more, obviously, and it'll also make me better at actually managing my time instead of sort of this base day management system I have. I think the day management part works completely fine. As a matter of fact, I think it's really good because for that, if I do get a job, I don't even have to stray from that. I could still do all of the things on that list. I could still do weeds, I could still do sticks, and I could still take a shower on these specific days. I could still practice drawing and writing on those days or watch lectures and videos on those days. Take them as learning days, and I can still use that if it's time constraints. I just have to make sure I properly manage the times at which I do everything, and um, and when I'm, I guess, out and about doing something else. So I guess that's technically what I'm working on. I I just want to be. I want to get out more. That'll be my current goal then, because I can follow that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get back on the horse of following it. This week in particular was just really bad, like horrendously bad. But next week, I'm gonna hop back on it, and I say that because tomorrow's the free day anyway. So it's more simply of coincidence than me going back to a bad habit of not starting. And start of the week is always Sunday, so it's time for me to actually clean this damn thing as well as the vacuum and other stuff that I use too. I actually wanted to try out a deeper cleaning for the vacuum as a form of dedication to it. I want to I want to put more effort. That's another goal I have. I want to put more effort into, I guess, smaller things, into cleaning and stuff, because I know I can put a lot of effort into it, but I don't. So I'd like to practice putting more effort into stuff than just, um, Jesus, than just like the bare minimum. I think, one, the vacuum really needs it. That thing is dusty as all hell, and it needs to be fucking cleaned. Um, but also, I think it'll just be better if I do start putting a bit more effort into stuff, especially for cleaning in particular. Because rather, I, I, before the start of what I'm doing now, was very bad at when it came to actually cleaning because I would have a more, I guess, light attitude towards it. I don't want to be a clean freak by any means where I put so much dedication into it that the walls and the ceiling are squeaky clean. But I do want to. I do want to just put a teensy bit more effort into it to make it so that some of the parts that are sticking don't stick anymore. I also have to take care of some plants, and I would like to actually clean off the leaves. We have quite a few in here that I do clean off the surface level leaves, but some of the other leaves I don't. And I think I'm also going to start doing some research into how to take care of some of these plants because besides just watering them, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, like at all. And that kind of sucks because I see the plants going in a certain direction and it kind of dissatisfies me. Specifically, we have an aloe plant. It's actually on that windowsill there. That, well, one, I accidentally broke a couple of the little. What the hell is that called? One of the little protruding portions of it by accidentally pushing too hard, and then it kind of broke the, I guess, stalk, and now it only bends down. And I don't know. I don't necessarily know what to do about it because I wanted to let it restore itself and just keep doing it to let it heal. But the longer it went on, the more it just kind of fell apart. And so I specifically want to look up how to take care of an aloe plant. And if I screwed up on that one, maybe get another one that I could actually properly take care of. It would probably do me better to look at all the other plants, and it would also probably do me better to repot the damn things. So, you know what? I can do that this Sunday, or maybe Saturday. I could do that this weekend. I don't know if I can do it myself. I probably can, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly good at or fully understand how to repot a plant fully, so it could be just common stupidity for me. It's fair enough. It doesn't seem like you need much experience for it, but maybe it's just a difference between bigger and smaller plants. So I'll get someone to help me with that. And well, I guess another thing I do want to do is start reading again, but I'm going to leave that till next month because I have a couple of things I actually want to do this month. And if I get some of them done, I'll start reading some books, some of the books I want to actually read next month. And I'll put that as a goal to either get through a certain amount of chapters or even just finish the damn book, which in a month actually seems kind of possible. It depends. I also need to make sure to not let my feelings, or I guess, yeah, no, just emotional feelings, not like physical feelings, but my emotional feelings get in the way of doing the stuff. I can still feel depressed or feel like crap and still do all the things. So I I do gotta work on that, but that's also something that is not like inherently easy to work on either. Because some days I'll feel like utter garbage, and then other days I'll feel ready to hop over the goddamn moon. Obviously, the moon one's going to be easier to work with, but neither of those feelings just pop up nearly as easily, and I can't just change my mood like that. Music can help, but it doesn't do it enough to the point where I stop feeling like garbage or I stop feeling depressed. So I guess that's something more like a general life goal. Because uh, honestly, I have no clue what the hell I'm supposed to do in order to improve that. But I guess other than that, I'm done. Good lord, this one was particularly long. Um, anyhow, I will see myself next time.